Welcome back. Let's bring you this story now. KwaZulu-Natal's newly assembled Provincial Executive, heads of departments and CEOs of government state-owned entities this week will design government's program of action during a two-day Lekgotla in Durban. But how exactly does the new administration plan to tackle poverty, unemployment and the violent crime in that country's third poorest province? Well, Siphamandla Goge is in Durban and he joins us live now. Siphamandla, good morning to you. So about, I think, an hour ago, you spoke to the head of that province in government, that's Premier Siphamandla. What will be the key focus for this Lekgotla?
According to him, the issue of service delivery is very important, and that is going to be the key focus of this Lekgotla, which has just started behind us. Basically, all heads of governments or heads of government departments are here, CEOs of public entities, newly appointed MECs, mayors, and some key strategic officials are here to discuss how they're going to turn around the situation in KwaZulu-Natal. Poverty, inequality, and unemployment are some of the challenges. Earlier on, I did ask Siphamandla about the how question. How do they intend to do that? And he says it's not going to be business as usual. But also he touched on the issue of corruption. He says he's going to root out corruption in the public service and in his administration. This is what he had to say. Let's listen in.
We're not going to tolerate any element of corruption. We will also want to be proactive and put measures that will dictate corruption and be able to deal with it in a manner that avert not only to be responding, but to deal with it proactively.
Very brief in closing, we're out of time. Is this not going to be another talk shop?
This is not a talk shop. Here we're developing a concrete action plan with time frames to respond and to implement the manifesto of the ANC.
Well, Siphamandla, definitely corruption is one major issue that this entire sixth administration is going to be grappling with. But how does the Premier plan to do that with a certain amount of believability, if you like, if you still have Zandile Gumede still mayor, although, of course, she is in some 30-day leave of absence? I mean, who's to say she's not going to come back as mayor at the end of the day?
Absolutely, that's one of the questions that we did pose to Premier Siphamandla, and he has said they will be focusing on those municipalities that have challenges. Our viewers would recall that the capital city, Umsunduzi, is under administration. There have been allegations of fraud and corruption there. At Tegwini, there have been allegations of fraud and corruption, including some senior officials who've been nabbed by the Hawks. So Siphamandla says it's not going to be business as usual. They are going to work with law enforcement agencies to root out corruption in the public sector. But right now we are joined by Hamish Erickson, who's the CEO of the Durban Trade Port. He is the engine of the economy in KwaZulu-Natal. How do you ignite economic growth, because these are tough times?
Certainly, thanks, Siphamandla. And I think the most important aspect that we play, the role that we play in that, is focusing on manufacturing and the industrial side of the economy as special economic zones. And I think it's an area that's well recognized as underperformed over the last few years. And it's really important that that sector, the secondary sector of the economy, gets built, and that we create new investment in new sectors that have long-term future, and sectors that can create jobs and really impact on the economy. That's a key focus of ours.
You mentioned investment, but some people will say the security environment in KwaZulu-Natal is not conducive for that. There are groups that hijack projects. We have seen the torching of trucks in KwaZulu-Natal. Surely the province there needs to do more to ensure that there is stability, which can then create a conducive environment for investment.
And I think that's really where special economic zones play quite an important role. We focus a lot on that the ground conditions for investment in special economic zones. So, for example, in Durban Trade Port, we focus a lot of attention, not just on security, but also on the quality of services that we're providing, both hard services in terms of infrastructure and land availability, but soft services as well. So in terms of being able to assist investors to navigate their way through the regulatory system, the incentive system, so to provide a holistic environment for investment.
You have recently announced an 18 billion rand expansion. How is that going to work, translate into job creation and economic growth?
Yeah, so we're very excited. We've now started our phase 2. So our phase 1 has been very successful. We're full. That was our first phase of the economic zone. We're now about 60% complete of the construction of the platform for our second phase. Yeah, we are targeting 18 billion rands worth of private sector investment in that phase, mainly in the electronic sector, pharmaceutical sector. So essentially high-value sectors that have good supply chains, good long-term value chains that impact on the economy.
President Cyril Ramaphosa wants this investment to come to KwaZulu-Natal, some of it. As the province and as Durban Trade Port, what are you doing to ensure that you go out, look for this investment, and also you have packaged the opportunities that are there in the province?
Well, the fortunate thing is we have been, active since 2010, and we've learned, I think, a lot in that process. We've very much, the primary thing is to align with the national DTR programs, align with the targets that are set at a national level, interpret them and target them at a provincial level.
Okay, well, thank you very much for time. That is Hamish Erickson. He's the CEO of Durban Trade Port, the economic engine in KwaZulu-Natal. Igniting economic growth is one of the focuses of this gathering.